Hi, long time. Welcome back to my channel. And I know the big question that you guys have is, where have you been? And just like the title suggests, I've been away. And I would say this was out of like a deliberate choice and also like forced circumstances that made me step away from creating YouTube videos. But for the past 2 months, I have been having this urge to come back to YouTube and continue making content, especially right now, because I feel this is the best time for somebody to venture into content creation. And as a passionate African storyteller, I feel this is a very good opportunity for me to share my experiences since the last time I posted. So if you're watching this for the first time, my name is Wajira Maina. I'm a passionate African storyteller living in Kakuma. Kakuma is based in Turkana County in Kenya. For the past 4 years, I embarked on a journey after watching a frenzy of YouTube videos motivated by content creators who've been able to create a platform for themselves and have created this community of amazing people who follow them. And me being a passionate, I would say, teacher and also somebody who looks into creating platforms and building communities, I said, why not? I totally have everything that it takes to create a community, and here I am. So just like a short story, then I came to Kakuma because I had gotten a job opportunity. My background is in teaching, and I had gotten an opportunity to work as a teacher in one of the organizations that support local communities in Kakuma refugee camp. If you've never heard of Kakuma refugee camp, this is the second biggest refugee camp based in Kenya after the Dab refugee camp. And I have had the pleasure of working in the Dab refugee camp. And for the past, I would say this is my 8th year, going 2025, this is going to be my 8th year living in Kakuma. So life for me here was quite, I would say a shocker, because I came from Nakuru County then. And I had so much that I was used to, like the social life in Kakuma is quite different. And also the proximity from here to Nairobi is quite far, or to any other major cities. But coming here, I came with an open mind, and I was like, yeah, I want to try the life here and see how that is going to shape up my career, because then I was really into growing professionally and becoming something. So after 5 years of working with organizations here, a non-profit organization, I was like, I feel I have something more to offer. And that's when I resigned from my 8 to 5 and I went into business. So in between the 5 years that I was living in Kakuma, I had started small businesses. In 2018, I had opened a salon in Kakuma town. And after 1.5 years, I had to close the salon. After that, after stepping from my 8 to 5, I opened a restaurant that was called Kikwetu Dishes, if you live in Kakuma, or maybe then in 2022. I was running this hotel, and I used to pack food and deliver food to people in different offices and businesses in Kakuma. And that eventually also didn't work out. And I was stressed out, I was battling depression, having all these mental struggles, because I knew in my heart I didn't want to go back to being employed by the NGOs, and I had a bigger calling to do something bigger to support myself, my family, and also the people around me. And it was in this moment, because I had started now my journey as a content creator, just making videos with my phone, I reached out to some of the local storytellers. These were filmmakers taught by some of the organizations within. And I told them, hey, I want to learn content creation because I want to travel the world. I want to meet different communities and showcase their work and tell their stories. and I have this passion to create a community through storytelling. And I remember the first guy that I went to, he was like, let me see what you normally do. And then I used to have my phone, a Samsung phone, and on this phone I had the InShot app that I was using to edit. So I didn't have any background in like shooting content, like getting to know about settings or in all the technical things that comes into filmmaking. And the guy looked at my work and he told me, oh, you have something, you definitely have a good eye for the camera. And he told me, okay, so you can be coming here for a couple of days, then I'll teach you how to use a camera. I had also invested in a camera, my Canon M50 that I'm using to shoot. Shout out to Canon people, because you guys, you've really helped us, especially, when you're starting out as a storyteller and you can't afford expensive cameras. So my Canon M50, I had it with me, and they taught me like the basic on how to take photos, and then I was just using the auto mode, progress slowly to manual. And after working with different storytellers based in Kakuma, I felt it was the high time for me to register something. And I said, yeah, I had always wanted to become a news anchor growing up, because I have always been a confident speaker, and I like to articulate my thoughts. I speak my thoughts loudly, either writing or speaking up, and unfortunately I didn't get that opportunity. So finding myself working in the teaching industry, it was amazing, but then at the end of the day I felt it was the high time I ventured into something else. And this gave me the opportunity and the urge to register a local media organization that is called Ecommerce Media Marketers Limited. And here I thought, okay, I do not have super skills in storytelling, especially in films, but then I can work with people who have these skills, and in between I'll be able to learn from them. And I remember back then I got a gig to produce and script, like a script for a podcast. And I did that. I was paid 150,000 Kenya shillings. That's around 1,300 USD. And using that money, I was able to register the company and get my paper rights. I still didn't have an office. I was working from home and working in different studios here in Kakuma refugee camp. And a shout out to the people who have supported my journey. And I would say one of those people is a guy called Eritia. And Eritia, just like me, he's a passionate filmmaker living here in Kakuma refugee camp. He runs also a media company called Sound for Life, and that was one of the most instrumental people who pushed me to become who I have become today. And soon after that, I was 1 year into trying to lobby for opportunities, trying to see if there were organizations that were interested in us documenting their work, success story, case studies. And in between, I had to learn so many things to be able now to come in as a communication person. And I would say we are living in an era where we have access to so much resource. If you go to YouTube, you'll be able to get so much information that can help you become resourceful yourself. You can learn practical things just by watching tutorials. And I watch a lot of tutorials up to date, because it's not everybody who can be able to invest into going back to school, and going to a film school is quite expensive, or maybe pursuing a degree in communication or in journalism or in mass communication, quite expensive. But at the end of the day, for someone like me, I didn't have that opportunity. And the best I could do is to just learn everything into the job. So fast forward 2023, and I had built this community, like physical community here in Kakuma refugee camp, knowing this area, going to the villages where the Turkana lives, going to the camps where the refugee lives, going to Kakuma, Kalobey, all these places, Kakuma town, and I became a local household name. So I was like, okay, right now most people know me, and when people are looking into buying something, they call me and they reach out to me and they want me to connect them with people who are offering these products or services. And I said, why not create like an agency in between, like it's media founded but a non-profit that will be able to help me reach more people. And then, you know, when you're registering a non-profit, you have to think about who are the people that I'm going to register the non-profit with. And I said, why not look for creatives? So I was lucky enough to get creatives who are interested in coming to be part of the umbrella, this creative umbrella that we call IConnectKenya initiative. And with this, you know, we work to bridge the marketing gaps of local creative communities. So we're working with artisans, we're working with storytellers, we're working with visual artists. And our work is to push the work and amplify the work of local communities living in Kakuma. And through that, you know, this year, luckily enough, we got some funding and some support that is enabling us to work with 100 creatives and supporting them to like create a marketing platform, which already we have done. We have created a local e-commerce platform that I'll be sharing down below on the link, on the bio. And on this platform, you know, we showcase different products made by the refugees, pushing people to buy refugee-made products and pushing people to buy products made in Turkana County. Yeah, so if you are interested in supporting these communities, we have a YouTube channel that is dedicated to showcasing our work in the non-profit, and it's called IConnectKenya. You can look it up. I'll also be sharing the link on the bio. You know, you can click and see the different stories of the creatives that we are working with. And last year also, no, this year actually, in 2024, I also got some amazing opportunity, you know, by putting myself out there. And I would say the first one is that I got a scholarship for me to finally pursue a degree in communication. So sometimes life gets busy, but I'm a part-time student and doing this degree online. So it has not been easy for me because already I was busy, you can imagine, with the non-profit, busy with the media company, and now busy with school, apart from now parenting and doing so many other things that I get to do on the side. And through that, I applied for an opportunity. I had started this blog called Climate Chronicles because I realized some of my passion, you know, was about amplifying social issues. And one of the major issues that is affecting the communities living in Turkana County is the issue of climate change. And I said, yeah, I think this is something that I want to niche down to. And now that I can write, why not start a blog? So I started a blog using blog post. And, you know, I wrote my first blog. It was nothing major and I didn't think much about it. And I was like, yeah, I can be able to articulate my thoughts, and I'm going to put my thoughts here and amplify what these local communities are here, share that in my social media, and, you know, more people get aware of what is happening down here. And through that, you know, somebody read my blog and they shared with me an opportunity that was advertised by a local organization that is based in Nairobi, a non-profit media organization called McDocubox. And I got an opportunity to be selected as a climate journalist, and I became a fellow through a project they called Tabianchi SOS. And through that, you know, I have had an amazing opportunity to connect with amazing storytellers from all over Kenya, people working with big broadcast media houses, and then local storytellers like myself, people who are amplifying stories about climate change, climate resilience, green projects, and using different mediums to share and amplify that. So for myself, I was selected because of the blog, but I knew, like, in my heart, really what I wanted to do is documentaries. And part of this project is that I had the opportunity to work with my team and local storytellers within Kakuma, and we went to Kalokol and we shot this amazing documentary called Waters Above, and it's still on post-production, but I hope I can be able to share maybe the trailer of that. So stay tuned to my channel for you to see what we were able to do. And this was my first film, me being a producer. Yeah, because like I have said, I'm still getting to learn how to learn all the cinematography thing and the editing thing, but it was such an amazing opportunity, you know, to fund and to produce, you know, script the story about this this documentary, and together with amazing cinematographers, editors, sound recorders, you know, everything that we needed, photographers, we were able to come up with an amazing story. So stay tuned for that project that I hope to be sharing sooner. Yeah, I wanted to say later. Yeah, sooner or later, whichever. So that is what has been happening in my life. And end of November, was it November? No, end of October, I got this amazing opportunity also, I went to a filmmaking workshop in Tanzania, and through the support funded by an organization called AfriSource and another one called the Great Spine of Africa. And there I went to script, film, direct, shoot, and edit my first story. So in 10 days, I was able to come up with the collaboration of a local storyteller living with the Hadzabe community. I don't know if you guys have seen the Hadzabe people that lives in Tanzania near Lake Eyasi. I don't know if you know about them, but if you haven't, you can just Google that on the search button on YouTube. And I would like to say, you know, the first time I saw the Hadzabe people, it was through another storyteller. His name is Fearless and Far, and he normally documents travel adventure series, working and experiencing the lives with indigenous communities that are based in all over the world. So there was a time he was in Tanzania with the Hadzabe people, and I was like, wow, this is such an amazing community, people who live in peace and in harmony with nature, and they are still hanging on to like a traditional way of survival through hunting and gathering. Don't you think that is quite awesome? So I was like, yeah, I would love to experience this. And you know, my experience living in Turkana County and also having worked in Garissa County, having lived in Marsabit, I would say this really opened my eye and made me have like this open perspective in regards to like there's so much to learn even with people who do not live in the same way that we live in. So there's a lot that is happening in terms of, you know, I would say like modernization, and as much as we are still in some of the developing African countries, and for some of our community members, or maybe for some of the tribes in Africa, you know, they haven't embraced modernization. And what does that feel? So these are experiences that I hope I will have more chances to experience, because then I get to learn and I get to carry out you know, like one of a lifetime experience through learning from them. So this amazing opportunity took me to Tanzania, and I went to Arusha. Arusha is such an amazing place. Tanzania, oh, I love your culture. Yeah, so Tanzania has a very chilled feel. Immediately you step into Tanzania, immediately I go to the airport, I felt the difference between coming from Nairobi and now being in Tanzania, and that was quite something special. I took another flight to Arusha, and yeah, because I flew through Dar es Salaam. Yeah, so we took a flight from Nairobi to Dar es Salaam, then from Dar es Salaam flew to Arusha. And getting to Arusha, the places that I was in, you know, they were so clean, there's so much order, you know, there is no haraka like we have it in Nairobi. The motorists or the bodabodas, they are so well mannered. The matatus also, they are not rowdy. I'm sorry, my Kakuma people, not my Kakuma people, my Kenyan people, especially watu wa bodaboda, you know, it's so rough. It's so rough in Kenya and Uganda. Yani, you know, you look at the bodabodas in Nairobi, and you look at the bodabodas also in Kampala. I also felt that in Kampala. Oh my God, it's wild. It's wild because there are so many, and then they drive in a very aggressive way. to maneuver traffic. Yeah, that's another story for another day. So then later on we had to drive for many hours. I think it was like a 7 hours drive all the way from Arusha to that village, and we went into different villages. I can't really remember all the names of the villagers, but we were there for 10 days, and we had to write a story, scripted, and then we had to film. We had, I think, 4 days of filming, and then we had 4 days of editing. Yeah, and then before then we had like an intro, like a workshop that they did for all of us, a capacity workshop, because then, you know, the gear that we were using quite expensive gear and very professional cameras, the Sony FX6, you can imagine. And it was my first time, you know, using a Sony FX6 and getting to know how you gear that up. And yeah, it was quite an amazing opportunity. I would say I was quite intimidated at first, because I was like, how do you come from Canon M50 and go to Sony FX6? But anyway, I did what I could, and within those days I was able to produce a story that is out. I'll also be sharing that work down here. Please go watch the film and let me know how it feels. It's a documentary actually. Yeah, so that is what has been up in my life. I would say this year I have seen a lot of success in terms of I'm not where I started. I remember my last video, struggles of a YouTuber, a Kenyan YouTuber. I had struggled, you know. And I thank God I'm here back with a bigger testimony. I'm not so much struggling. Of course, I have my days that I wake up and, you know, I'm having like almost a mental breakdown. But then I pick myself up and somehow I show up. I also have an office. Yeah, you know. Yeah, God has worked around that, because for many years, you know, I was working as a briefcase company, a briefcase non-profit, you know, and eventually, you know, God has helped us and my team. Now we have a space in Kakuma town. So anytime you are in Kakuma, by the way, if you need to come to Kakuma and experience a little bit of how life is in Kakuma, reach out to me. I'm always happy to host people and to show you around Kakuma. Because I think it's only through travel that you become more open-minded, and it's only through travel that you get to meet amazing people and learn from people. And then if you have something that you want to give back to the Kakuma communities, please feel free to come here and learn. So the prospect for 2025, it's still in 2024, but somehow my mind is like, it's already in 2025. 2025, you know, one thing I have learned that is very important and instrumental in my life is having faith in God. I'm still a very spiritual person. I'm not religious. It's been 3 years I haven't stepped into a church. And this is due to my, you know, like my personal perspective in regards to churches. But I'm very spiritual. So my faith in God has renewed, and I have so much faith in Him. Right now, as much as, you know, sometimes I have anxious moments, I believe God is in control and He's able to like put us in paths and destinies that He has created for us. So in 2025, I have already finished working on my vision board. Is your vision board ready? Because mine is. If you don't know how to create a vision board, I'm happy to teach you if it's something you want to learn. In 2024, I had a vision board, and I would say, you know, then I didn't have so much experience in terms of manifestation, in terms of like creating vision boards, but somehow I was intentional in terms of like what I wanted. And let me not lie to you guys, out of the things that I had in my vision board, only 2 did not come to be. The rest, I have achieved them. Yani, I looked at my, you know, I was doing like a self-audit in 2024, and I looked at the things that I had put in my vision board and what I was able to do, and was like, my God, this is exactly what I prayed for. And even for the things that I was not able to do, I have already started the journey into like starting those projects, and I'm so happy and looking forward in doing that finally in 2025. So my vision board is ready. I don't know if I want to share it with you just yet, but if you don't know how to create one, I can show you. I can do a video and teach you guys on how to create one. If it's something you want to learn, sure, I'm happy to do some content and teach you on how to prepare one before 2025, or maybe even in the first week of 2025. No pressure. The other thing is also, you know, right now, having grown my skills as a storyteller, feeling quite confident in terms of how I'm able to articulate issues. I want to start a podcast project next year. It was in my plan in 2024, but then I became so overwhelmed. So 2025, we'll be having like a local podcast with the rest of my team. And on this podcast, we want to create a platform for the local communities here. So if that is something also you'd love to follow and see, yeah, stay tuned. I'll be sharing more details once that is out. Then the other thing is also we continue our work with the non-profit, and here it's more of marketing. So if you're out there and probably you would like to buy products made in Turkana, you know, we have women who makes amazing baskets made of I would say renewable or sustainable products that grows. I don't know if they are called palm trees or the beech trees that grows along Lake Turkana. If you've never visited Lake Turkana, if you Google a photo of Lake Turkana, you'll be able to see these long trees that look like coconut trees. And that is the materials that they use to create these baskets. So they make a variety of baskets that we sell on behalf of them. And, you know, also we have like a very skilled community that also makes bracelets. So if that's something also you'd like to buy, please reach out and I can connect you with these communities and you can buy from them. Apart from that also, you know, I also want to travel. I went through my first expedition this year and I would love to go visit Congo. I would love to go visit Namibia, because I feel these are places that has special people, and you know, like the weather and the climate in this place is quite special, and it's something that I want to experience. So I'm looking for opportunity, collaboration, partnerships, you know, that can take me there. You know, if all that is not going to work, please God give me money, because I need to travel to Namibia, I need to travel to Congo. I don't know how that is going to pan out, but I'm confident that God is going to make a way in regards to that. Yeah, so that has been like my life update, up to date. Feeling good, because the year is coming to a close. Very soon, I hope I'll be able to like make more constant video, just to share with you how life is. And you know, when I started this channel, Bloom with Wanjira, it's because I knew I'm blooming, I'm growing, and I'm becoming this woman that I have always had the belief that I was. I was a shy girl growing up, and when I got my voice, because I figured out that I could write, I was really a good writer since I was a child. You know, that was my medium of me expressing. And when I became older and I became a teacher, you know, that was my medium of me sharing information and speaking my mind. And later on now, when I ventured into storytelling, again, here it's where I feel home, because I can make this amazing video and share with you, and you can watch it from wherever part of the world that you are in. This is quite amazing. And I can share my life updates here that I want to share with you guys, maybe as an inspiration to somebody. I can share my experiences, just a way to like educate people and inform people about different issues that are happening here, because not everybody will have the opportunity to come to Kakuma. So if this is your kind of content, please follow, and I say see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Kwaheri.